Taurus. Happy April. I hope you're doing well. Okay. You guys have great cards. Great cards. The only thing that will stop you is you. Okay. That I hear very, very clearly. We come in with the Justice card and the Ten of Cups. Okay. We've got the Ten of Coins. We've got the Three of Swords. Don't panic. We've got the Seven of Wands. We've got the King of Swords, the Four of Wands, and we've got the Page of Cups. Okay, now, here's my question for you, okay? How well do you compromise, right? And how well do you give your power away? At what degrees, right? Because it's going to come into question here. Where you're powerful and where you compromise. Write that down because it's going to be key. You may have to ask yourself, I know this is a monthly read, but I really feel that within a year, honestly, and that sounds like it's far away, but it's not, and it can happen anytime before then. But you've got 2 10s, so I've got to camp out on this. And this is something, you're going to need to put some elbow grease in here, right? But it's where you mentally may trip yourself up and sell yourself short is the only area that you would not come out ahead here. You've got amazing cards for success, amazing cards for financial security. The question, though, here lies in how much you want it. Will you move a mountain for it? Because I think you're going to need to put a lot of elbow grease into it. I think you're going to have to make some compromises. I think that some things are going to have to fall by the wayside. And by that, I mean it may be out of your control. You know what I mean? Like some things may be taken from you, or you may be put in positions where you think at the time, oh, I really wanted that relationship, or I really wanted that job, or I really wanted something, and you didn't get it, right? But you're going to see where down the line the payoff in this was. And it was kind of like where the universe kind of stepped in and saved you from maybe yourself, right? It's for you'll see in hindsight that something that didn't work out how you wanted it to ends up being a blessing, okay? Your questions in here too are, you're going to need to take the spiritual path on this, right? By that I mean just keeping things in alignment. You don't want to fall out of, sometimes we trip ourselves up where I think there's a fear of not having enough, being too fixed in our ways, being too fixed in our thinking, getting down on ourselves. That's why I think if you write down and ask yourself anytime your mind goes into that spiral, where it's kind of like a depression, or it's a not feeling well, or it's a damn, I did it again kind of deal, right? Your ticket out of here is to stay frugal, right? And by that I mean just don't waste. Don't waste. I think for a time, you're going to need to maybe burn the candles at both ends, maybe do 2 things at one time. You may be, the starving artist kind of sits in here too, but you pull through at the end, okay? But it's just, how far are you willing to go for your dream, right? And where are you making unnecessary compromises, and where do you need to step into kind of ruling your kingdom, right? Every king needs a kingdom. So you need to step into the leadership role of your life and drive it forward here. And again, it depends on how bad you want it. You know what I mean? You're most likely going to have to make some compromises here in some things in your life, right? Like sometimes that's going without something for a little bit for the bigger picture. But again, the question comes down to, what's the payoff worth to you, right? The outcome card, though, you've got the Page of Cups, right? That's inspiration, creative ideas. You've got what it takes to do it here. you've just got to be invested enough to pull it through and not be sidetracked and not be fearful of stepping outside of your box, because you're really, I think, going to have to come at something really strong and really, you're going to have to be consistent in it, and it'll come through for you. It sits here. This may be something too where there's some kind of discovery or something that you come across where it could be something too that you find, like something that's mined, or like jewels, or I don't know, what do you mine? Like, you know, things that you mine. Like, the only thing that comes to mind are, I keep hearing mines, but that's like in the ground. So you've got the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Coins. Maybe it's something in your yard, in your surroundings, something where you are. Maybe it's land that you own, right? Maybe you have land that's got stuff in it. It could be something like that too. Okay, so for some of you, maybe you're doing something, like maybe you mine for gems or things like that, or something, alloys or something like that. Again, though, it's you've got to be focused. You've got to have your mind in the right spot. You can't be your own worst enemy here. You need to hold your own hand and pull yourself forward, because I feel that whatever this is, and you may not even know when you're watching this what this is, but you've got a great opportunity here to pull your life in a direction where you're not only, I think what you're being challenged with, and I think what the universe will challenge you with is what do you value? You know what I mean? Do you value yourself enough to pull yourself forward so that you're self-sustaining? You know what I mean? You'll get the external riches. It's just what internally in you is going to come out. Maybe that's been dormant for a bit, to pull that closer towards you. You're going to have to work for it, but the universe is going to align it here for you. So that's the trade-off. How bad do you want it, right? If you want it and you're willing to trust and do the work for it, it's going to align for you. If you're not, unfortunately, it's going to fall by the wayside. But I guarantee you, you get a secure foundation here. This could actually be marriage too. It can be, you know, maybe you need to push something off for a bit until you finish something. Maybe that's one of the trade-offs right now, right? But again, you've got to, your main question coming in here was, where are you powerful and where do you compromise, right? And do you know the difference between the two? Because the King of Swords can be very you just need to be organized. You need to get your ducks in a row, and you need to pull this forward. You need to have a really good, clear, practical plan and work it through to the end, okay? Don't look for, I know that you guys do not like change, but if you want change in your life, you're going to have to step outside of your box without knowing that there's 100% payoff. I assure you that if you do this, I see it. You'll get it. You're just going to have to put the work into it. And I think that the universe may test you a bit in the regard where you may have to really give up something in the short term to get the long-term payoff, right? Example would be, and it's going to be different for all of you, but you've got the 2 10s in here, so I'm just going to put it out. You may want to do something now that is going to screw up your long-term plans, right? Weigh those two out. Where's the compromise and where do you need to be more powerful? Where do you compromise and where do you not compromise? What are your game changers and what are your deal breakers? You need to know what those are, because someone may be pushing you to do one thing, but it's going to steer you clear off of your path, right? I think the universe is going to put you in a position where you're going to have to make a tough choice like that, but you can make it, Okay? I think this is a great reading. I think whatever it is that you want, I have a feeling for some of you, though, you know what you want, you just don't have the game plan in place. But I assure you, if you meditate on that question, where do I compromise and where do I need to be more powerful, right? And where do I need to step into a leadership role in my life? You'll figure this out. And for others of you, this may come up for you. Give it till the end of the month, right? It may be something like that too. But I feel within a year, this all plays out, right? And I think that somewhere in here is an avoided disaster, right? Because the universe does step in and it may offer you something that think long term. Think long term. Don't think short term, because you may very well sell yourself short here. So there you go. If you need a private reading, we can look at this. We can see where you are. We can see what lies ahead of you. We can see what you want to do. But this, I feel, is like the starving artist kind of deal, and that's very exciting, and it is very delicious. I assure you of that. You won't be at the end of this the starving artist. You'll have the gallery. You won't be the starving artist. I assure you of that. And the best part about this is, the most delicious part of this is, you'll know you can do it. You'll know you can do it because you'll have done it, and you'll be very proud of yourself. And you're not losing anything here. What you think might be a trade-off or something that you had to give up is not a sacrifice at all. You will see the payoff of this. Okay? So there you go. I hope that I helped you in some way. Have a wonderful April. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to look at anything for you. Okay? Thank you so much.